Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. I'm stoked to be with you this morning. Hopefully, you had an awesome weekend. I know I did. I took my family to a Swiss village this weekend. It was beautiful. Um, anyway, so today, guys, I want to talk to you about um, how to do money, how to do real estate with none of your own money. All right, so this principle I like to call OPM. It's all about other people's money in real estate. If you want to expand, if you want to really get wealthy, you gotta get good at using other people's money. One of the biggest barriers that people always say when I say, hey, you want to do real estate investing? They always say, oh, well, I do one day, once I get the money to do it, I'll be interested. And here's what I'm here to tell you, that this is just a total fake barrier. This is not something that you actually have to worry about, because this is you can always use other people's money to do all your deals. I just closed on one on Friday, none of my own money. All right, so here's how this, let me kind of first give you the bird's idea of how this works using OPM. So let's say you have a house, a very unhappy house. This house is, not very well maintained. It's got some issues. So what you can do is you can get this house. I'm going to show you how to find these off-market deals, like a notice of default, a house that has a notice of default listed on it. So you can get this unhappy house for a huge discount. Let's say $100,000 less than the market value on this house. So this unhappy house, you get it under contract for $200,000. Huge discount using the scripts that I share with you, using the Renatus iOS that I share with you, all this great stuff. And then you get it under contract at $200,000. Now, we know that when this house becomes a happy house, it's all fixed up and smiley, right? It's happy now, and it's worth $300,000. So once you fix it up, it's gonna be worth $300,000. So that's that's what you want. You want this big discount. You're not going to find these discounts on the MLS. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, there's no deals out there. Houses are so expensive. It's because you're looking in the wrong places. You got to go off market, and that's where I'm going to show you how to get these houses off market, through places like the notice of default. Okay, so you take this contract that you just got this house. This person signed over their house. They said they're going to sell this thing for $200,000. You come over to this guy. Let's call him Mr. Hard Money Lender. Hard Money Lender. You say, hey, look, Mr. Hard Money Lender, I've got this awesome house, and it's only, they said they're going to sell this thing for $200,000. And this house is only really this house is worth $300,000, and I got it under contract for $200,000. Isn't that cool? And the hard money lenders like, oh, that is way cool. Good job. I'll tell you what, I'll give you all the money you need to buy this house. Sorry, that's supposed to be a dollar bill. My handwriting's awesome, right? So they give you the money to buy this unhappy house. And now you're off to the races. you go buy this ugly house, and then maybe you have a private money lender that you show this contract to, and they say, hey, I'll give you all the money that you need to fix this house up. Hard money lenders usually don't want to give you all the money. So you approach a private money lender to give you the rest of the money you need. Let's say you need $30,000 to fix the house up. So at the end of the day, you fix this house up, you sell it for $300,000, and let's say you have to pay realtors $15,000, realtors and title companies, and then let's say you give your hard money lender $7,000, your private money lender $3,000. So you're literally in this property. See, 40 plus 55. So you're in this about 255. You just sold it for 300,000. What is your share of the profit? 45,000. And you're saying you only paid your money person, your money people, 10,000? Why wouldn't you be willing to pay a hard money lender and a private money lender $10,000 so that you can make 45,000? I would do that all day long. And in fact, I recommend that you don't use your own money, because why? Why use your own money when you can do it with someone else's money? And the great thing about learning how to do it with someone else's money is, guys, you gotta is then you can scale it. You want to, I was earlier this year, I was doing 14 flips at a time. Do you realize how much money that was out? That was like $5 million, $5 million bucks that was out on all these deals. So I don't have $5 million bucks just laying around. Even if I did, I would still want to use other people's money and use my own money for other things. So that's the power of real estate, guys, is that anybody can do this with the right knowledge and the right network, and the connections that you need are here for you. I've got plenty of hard money lenders willing to lend. If you find a great deal, I'll lend you all the money that you need. I've got the connections. We can do this. So, bring deals that you think might be deals, and let's work them together. So you can use me at first, right? I'm happy to fund your deals if they look good. I just got started with a new Determined Dozen member, Cletus. He's I'm funding his deal that he found that he got under contract. So this is a great way to get started. And then here's the cool thing, is that you can start developing your own money contacts. You can start raising money yourself. Here's how, let me just show you how it works. Okay, so raising money. Let me kind of go through some of the tips and strategies for how to raise money. First of all, you're always going to secure the money. Secure the money with the deal. Let's call it a trust deed. It's called a few different things in different states. Here in Utah, it's called a trust deed. And what the trust deed means is that it's like you're putting a lien on the property, so that you can't sell it without paying your money lenders off. And ultimately, you want to secure this. You want to secure your people's money so that they feel like they can trust you, right? You never have them send money to you. You always have them send the money directly to the title company that you're closing the property on. All right, be careful of wire fraud. Make sure that you have the right wiring instructions, that you call them and get them, because believe me, I haven't been through it, but there are people out there that send fake emails from supposed, they look up what title company you're using, and they send an email from the title company. with fake wiring instructions. So you got to be careful. You want to make sure and get the actual wiring instructions directly from the title company by phone. So that's important. Okay. Now, so you have them send it directly to the title company so that their money is secure. You know, I treat their money, I treat other people's money like my own. I'm very careful how I invest it, and I'm always, you know, super careful about other people's money and securing it. And you're going to have all the documentations. You want to have, you know, a trust deed ready to go, you know, with all the information, with the terms that you agreed on. And a great way, if you have some money and you want to try it out, you know, I've got plenty of flips I'm working on. I just raised $175,000 last week for some of my flips, but I'm always looking for more. So, you know, if you want to go through the whole process, I'd love to do a deal with you so you can see what it's like and see ultimately the process of securing someone's money and giving them interest. I usually do like a 10% annualized interest. So this is a, you know, great opportunity. This is how I got started with flipping. My first 3 deals, I was a lender on the deals, secured, you know, by the deal. So that's a great way to get started in real estate, get your first deal, make it a lending deal. All right, so let me know if you're at all interested in that. And then what I do, what I would recommend to do as you start to raise your own money is in the Google Docs, in the Goals and Resources tab, there's what's called a 30-day challenge. What this goal is to build your real estate team. And I highly recommend using this Google Doc. If you don't have it and you're, you know, part of my real estate team, shoot me a message, or if you want to join the team, shoot me a message. I'd love to talk to you about how to get started with the Determined Dozen. But anyway, this 30-day challenge has some instructions for you. As ultimately, you're going to list out, you know, all the people that you know, ideally 200, and then you start contacting them and asking them questions like, hey, have you ever been interested in real estate investing? If they say yes, that's the golden question, guys. Have you ever been interested in real estate investing? If they say yes, you can ask, hey, are you interested in managing projects and, you know, finding deals like I am? Or are you interested in just receiving checks in the mail? Are you interested in receiving checks in the mail? And if they are interested in being passive, if they have too much going on, they want to be passive, then you can get them on your real estate team as a money lender. Say, I would love to put your money to work. If you don't have a deal going right then, you know, I'm happy to give you a finder's fee to put them in touch with me. But otherwise, you know, use the trust deed and find that deal and then secure it with the trust deed. And you can get your deal funded with whoever it is that you know. Just make sure you're using the right paperwork. So 30-day challenge. Again, golden question. Have you ever been interested in real estate? This is such an important question. And if they are interested in, you know, becoming a real estate investor, put them in touch with me. Let's we can get you an awesome referral fee for getting them started in Renatus. But otherwise, you can use them as money lenders. Or, you know, I always say, hey, while you're in the conversation, if they're not interested, you could always say, hey, who do you know who's in a bad spot financially? Who do you know who's in a, you know, maybe can't pay their mortgage? People can be, you know, you can put them into one of 3 categories. Either they could be 1, a money lender if they want to be passive. 2, if they want to get active, maybe they're a title officer, maybe they're some other person you could put a contractor or a fellow investor on your team, so they could be an active investor. Or 3, they could have access to a deal. This is how Edmond Fontana got his first 2 deals, was through connecting with his family members, letting them know that he's in real estate, and he ended up getting 2 deals out of it. So it's a great way to get properties is by talking to people that you know. Great way to raise money, and a great way to build your real estate team. And by the way, on the same goals and resources document, you've got all your real estate team lined up. There's a tab on there, check it out, that shows you all the different team members that you're going to need. Your lenders, your contractors, your real estate attorneys, all that stuff, right? So start filling that out. Do the 32-day challenge if you're wanting to raise some money, get some more deals through networking rather than cold contacting. It's an awesome way to get your real estate business going in a hurry. So that being said, again, let me just end with this, and then I'll open it up for questions. Real estate, let me actually exit this. Oh yeah, let me stop the share so I can kind of, there we go. All right, so awesome thing is that in this business, you don't need your own money. Use other people's money. Just to recap, secure their money with trust deed, and get the hard money lender. Hard money lenders are pretty easy to find. You can usually get them for about 12% interest annually, with, let's say, 2 points up front is kind of typical. It might vary a little bit depending on the market, but this is a great way to it's a great way to get things going to raise money. So just make sure you're looking in the right places, and then present the deal to someone. Show them what kind of money you're going to make so that they feel comfortable, and let's go do some deals. So this is awesome. Hope you guys will start using other people's money and start really crushing it. So let's jump into some questions. Oh yeah, Michael, thanks for your comment, Michael Matsura. I'm sending Michael a check every month for some some money that he's lent me to do a bunch of deals. Thank you, Mike. I love working with you, bro, and I'm glad you're enjoying us checks every month. Thanks for the plug there. Cletus asks how to get the contact info, the phone numbers of the NOD list. That's a great question. Awesome question there, Cletus. Here's how you get it. You can go to familytreenow.com. Familytreenow.com is a great way to get phone numbers, because a lot of these lists, like even the Renatus IOS, they usually don't come with phone numbers. So you can go to Family Tree Now to actually get the phone numbers of people. You can type in their name and their city. It may not have all the correct information, but it usually does. I'd say type in your own name to that website. It's kind of scary what's there, what's available on you. So familytreenow.com is a great way to get phone numbers. Also, Cletus, they do have, RedX does have some phone numbers for notice of default. So redx.com can actually give you phone numbers of notice of default lists. So Emma, I know that you can get them free with the title company, but I don't believe they don't have phone numbers there. So you're probably going to need to use either RedX or Family Tree Now. Family Tree Now is kind of like, one by one, but if you want a whole list and start, you want to make that a serious part of what you're doing, RedX can get you phone numbers. Jeff is asking, what would you be wary of when working with hard money lenders? Any red flags that you would look for? There are some loan sharks out there, guys. So some people that are kind of wanting you to fail so that they can snag the house from you. Those aren't very common. I mean, you just want to probably I'd recommend getting contacts for your hard money lenders, people that others have worked with. But typically, you're going to want to try and get, if they're charging a ton of points up front, that's not great, right? You probably want to get something, you're going to want to get a hard money lender that's ideally 2%, 2 points up front and 12% interest. Again, there's a few markets that charge more, but I think that's a great way to look for people that are giving those better rates and that are recommended by people that is probably the best way to work it. Great question, Jeff. Danny says, I'm on a plane and going to watch this whole video because I need to start working. My dad is on his second flip and I've got some money to invest. Awesome, bro. Let's definitely chat. I'd love to put your money to work, show you how it works, and then we can get you in on a deal right away. It's a great way to get started. And I'm really going gung-ho in the next couple months looking for a lot of properties. So if anyone wants to put their money to work, I'd be happy to get you rocking and rolling. Thanks, Danny. Let's see, anyone else have a question or comment about anything about how to, and it could be anything. It doesn't only have to be about using other people's money. It can be about anything real estate related. While you're thinking, we have a big conference coming up here in Utah this weekend. It's a regional conference. Going to be some top people from around the country here. It's an awesome opportunity to network and meet people. So I'd love to talk to you about that if you're interested in coming out to Utah. All right, Matt, great question. Matt says, what is the turnaround time for a lender? Most of my flips, Matt, go about 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months is kind of the typical turnaround time. I do have a few that I'm going to be doing where I'm buying a house and literally selling it to a credit partner. Some of these I can do in like 30 to 60 days. So, but usually for typical flip, it's like 4 to 6 months is what you would want, what you would expect. Nate, what do you say to people about the looming recession? Great question. What I would say on that is that it's not going to be 2008. I mean, guys, that happens like every 70 years. We have one of these great depressions or great recessions. It's very, very unlikely that it's going to be anything more than a small downturn. So that being said, for me, one of the great ways to mitigate any potential risk is to not do high-end houses. I do your entry-level Walmart brand houses, and for me, I feel like that's the safest way to go, because you don't want to get caught upside down with the house on the hill that could lose value really quickly. The nice thing about the entry-level houses that I do is that when the market's correcting, you can hurry and sell, and if you lose even 10% on in this market, that would be a huge loss. I always build in enough profit to be making at least 10%. So worst case scenario, I lose my profit. And for me, and I think you should, when you raise money, you should make this your mantra as well. That you never, ever, ever pass any losses on to your money lenders. I just had my first deal that lost money, and I know it was only 15,000, but believe me, I paid my lender all their money and their interests. And I even am willing to personally guarantee, because for me, it's like, hey, this is my loss if something goes wrong. So anyway, that's a great question, Michael. And I think that, it's unlikely, but if it is, I would definitely only put your money to work with really experienced lenders. Investors. Never give your money to someone who's like doing their first deal. Now you want it for your first deal, but ideally you're working with someone experienced like me on your first deal. So, but yeah, anyway, so I wouldn't recommend giving it to someone who doesn't have a lot of experience, and who doesn't have the deep pockets to take care of you. I have my policy is to have huge money in reserves. I've got $250,000 in reserves. So if I ever needed to, I could pull out from that to make my lenders whole. So definitely make sure that your lenders, if you do invest with someone, make sure that they have experience and that they have the ability to make you whole in reserves if you needed to. So that'll help you, and that they're ideally investing in safe projects like entry-level houses is probably your best way to keep that protected. That's an awesome question, Michael. Eric says, and Eric actually was a money lender for me at one point. He says, how long does it take for hard money to fund the flip? Should we be set up with the hard money lender ahead of time? Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I have, and in your goals and resources Google Doc, you have your team list that I would start making a list of hard money lenders. How much money do they have? Put that in the Google Doc as well. I have my list so that, hey, when I've got a property, like right now, I have a kind of 2 or 3 people deep, actually even more than that, but like that are super ready, like have the money set. So I have my list of people that I've already set up so that when I get the next deal, I'm ready to rock and roll quickly. So for instance, I would say in terms of the speed, Eric, that's an awesome question. I would say I've had some people fund like a day or 2 out. Now you probably want to give at least 3 or 4 days usually, but a good hard money lender, especially if you have a good working relationship with them and they trust what you're doing, oftentimes you can have that done in a couple days is all you really need. But it's good to have those relationships, get that set up ideally in advance so that you can be ready to rock and roll and get that person's money set up. Jeff Neal asks, how do you set up a trust deed? So that's a great question. A real estate attorney can produce a trust deed for you. That's how I got mine. I paid my attorney like $500 to get their form, and so I use that form because they've thought of all the things that I haven't thought of, and so I know that Renatus actually has some as well that I'm sure are pretty great in the forms in the education tab. I'll check that out. I think that would probably be a good place to start. But yeah, I have some that I had an attorney draft up, and then I just kind of copy and paste and use that every time I have a new money lender come through. I'll use that with them. So that's a great question, Jeff. Awesome. So any last questions? I love getting these great questions from you guys. I feel like this is hopefully you're getting a lot of value out of this. This is a great, and let me mention this too. There's an incredible class in your I can't remember if it's in the fix and flip track or the bonus section, but there's a whole class, 6-hour content on how to raise private money. So taught by Kendall Stock, one of my friends down in Southern California. He does a phenomenal job. He's going to go into a lot more depth than I did today. So you'll definitely, if you really want to get good at this and get money for those deals, I definitely suggest watching that class. It's going to be hugely important. So great questions, guys. Any other last questions before we call it a wrap? It's going to be a great week. We might have a guest trainer next week. Just got someone on my team who's done a couple hundred deals that I kind of wanted to introduce you guys to. Tyson Holbrook, he's going to be a guest next week, so that'll be fun. Anyway, looks like you guys have all the questions answered that you were hoping to learn. So yeah, I think, I see one more. How is it possible to make money on a wholesale? That's an awesome question, Juan, but I love it that you asked something that wasn't even on the training, because this is the goal of this isn't just to talk about what I train on, but any other questions you have on real estate are fair game. So I'm really glad you asked that, Juan. To make money on a wholesale, so you know how in that example that I gave, I showed how the person got, how you got that unhappy house under contract for $200,000, and let's say that we know that the after repair value, the ARV, is $300,000. So if you wanted to not even do the deal yourself, what you could do is you could advertise the contract, to people who are wanting to flip. Build a list of real estate investors that you're connected with, or wholesale it to me. But yeah, I mean, and then literally, let's say you get it under contract for 200, and you know that someone could still make 20,000 if you sold it for 225 to them. If it still makes sense for the end buyer, then hey, you could say, hey, I've got this contract that I'll sell it to you for 225, and you could literally make 25 grand for not doing anything. You don't have to have any money in it. So wholesaling's a great way to go, and there's an awesome class that goes through all the details on wholesaling in the lease option track. Any plans to teach your lesson on life insurance? Thanks for the reminder, Bruce. Tell you what, I'm gonna schedule that out. If you want to learn about life insurance, this would be a great chance to, I'll have my team member Steve Ross train on that the following Wednesday. So let's plan. I'm sorry, the following Monday. So let's plan on a discussion on life insurance on the 21st of August. 21st of August, and then we'll have my other guests speak. So we'll have 2 guest speakers in a row. So we'll have one on life insurance. So great question. Michelle is asking, do you see much value in going after FSBOs? For anyone who's new, that means for sale by owner, like on the KSL or Craigslist. Are those similar to MLS listings? So that's an awesome question, Michelle. I would say that definitely it's definitely fair game, definitely better than on the market. I will say some of these people are pie in the sky. They think that their house is worth so much. So you're going to have to sift through them. But the good news is that there's a lot of people, and even better, the ones who just have a sign out in their yard. Those are often the best because they don't even know how to market their property. They don't know how to use technology. So those are probably the best for sale by owners that you can find that aren't even on the internet. So, as you're driving around, if you see a for sale by owner sign, take a picture and give them a call. Yes, absolutely. Now, they may not be motivated. You want to try and gather whether they're motivated or not. If they're not motivated, it's not going to help you much. But if they're motivated to sell, then for sale by owners are awesome. I had my cousin Connor, who's now making over 200 grand this year. He, for instance, called here in Utah, it's called KSL, but it's kind of like Craigslist. It's like the classified. He saw someone list their house on there, and literally it was for a low, like below market value. She didn't realize probably how much the house was worth. So we made an offer. We literally got this house from this person for $10,000 down on seller finance. It was awesome. We rented it out for 2 years, and then we sold it for a $63,000 profit. So there's definitely some value in making calls on for sale by owners or for rent by owner. There's a lot of people that are burned out, getting tired. So if you say, what if I could do a rent to own? Would you let me do a rent to own? That'd be a great way to do it. So I would say, if you haven't watched my video on your finding focus, I would recommend to everyone on this call right now, on this webinar, to look at that training on the 4 main ways to find a deal, your finding focus. It's in your goals and resources worksheet, and decide what is your strategy. Because if your strategy is calling, then for sale by owners is great. For rent by owners is great. Or like I said, you could get the notice of default from RedX or Family Tree Now. So if that's your strategy, that's these are great resources to call people. Okay, so anyway, great question, Michelle. Nancy Metallo asks, where do we get the contact info for our Determined Dozen group? That's a good question. So your Determined Dozen group is in your in the first tab. You guys are, the latest group is Group 4A and Group 4B. And I've linked everyone up with an accountability partner. So so you guys can be accountable to other people in the group as well, and practice your scripts and things like that. So that's what I would like to do going forward. Bruce says October 21st. He's really wanting to commit me on this. This is great. Yes, let's do October 21st. Thanks for the tie down. I love it. Yes. Good job, Ryan. I'm sorry, Bruce. Yeah. So yeah, I'll plan on that. So we'll have a good discussion on life insurance, and I'll have a guest speaker, Steve Ross, kind of talking through, everything that you can do on that. So good questions, everybody. Any last questions before we call it a wrap? Jeff is asking, how do you utilize real estate agents in your investing business? That's a great question, Jeff. So, in the finding focus worksheet, if you want, one of the 4 main ways to find a deal is to network. So, using real estate agents can be great. You want to use, ideally, pocket listings. There are some deals on the MLS that realtors can help you identify. So, I would probably sit down, take them to lunch, or, just have a big phone conversation with some of these realtors and kind of be really clear about what you're looking for. If you're looking to flip, you want really dilapidated stuff, and you want, ideally something with a pocket listing. And what I mean by pocket listing is they're about to list it. It hasn't been listed yet. maybe they just want to get a quick sale on it. So those can be awesome. I've gotten several deals from realtors, but again, you just got to be really clear about kind of your formula and kind of train them, right? You got to, they do require a little bit of training, and a lot of deals that they're probably going to send you at the beginning are probably not going to be deals. So you gotta follow that formula, ARV multiplied by 0.75 minus repairs, and that'll get you some great information for your agents to work with those agents and have them send you deals. Because I haven't gotten a ton, but probably 4 or 5 deals from realtors, which is a decent amount of deals, I guess. So yeah, that's a great question. In fact, the property I just closed on Friday was actually from a realtor. So if you're looking to do like the Airbnb strategy, you might tell them kind of what you're looking for and where, and this one wasn't a huge discount, but it was in a great area that was going to cash flow, a little bit of a discount, so we went for it. Anyway, so that's a great way to use realtors. Juan asks pre-foreclosure and short sale scenario ideas. Yeah, so there's actually a full class on short sales in your education. They aren't as prevalent right now since the economy is pretty hot. But we'll have, I'm sure during the next downturn we're going to have some people that are going to do short sales. So there's some great education there for you for the pre-foreclosure. I would say that's kind of my bread and butter, so I can give you some great suggestions on that. I mean, the Renatus IOS will give you a list of everyone in pre-foreclosure that you can ask. You can ask about, what's going on. So I would say, in terms of pre-foreclosure, I would definitely say get that list, and then the scripts that I'm going to give you guys when you fully fund your education will kind of show you everything you can say to these people, and questions that you need, stuff that you need to gather from them. Important stuff like interest rate, how far behind are they, and it just shows you how to have that conversation. You might want to scroll back. I gave a training on having this kind of conversation with the pre-foreclosure person like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to eventually organize all these trainings into kind of a quick and easy format for you to access really easily. But right now you can just scroll down, and I did give a full training on kind of having this conversation with these people. So I'd say definitely want to jump in and have the conversation, get them to sell their property to you, catch them up at the bank, give them some money to find a new place to live. That's show them all the benefits of selling to you rather than trying to go through a realtor. And if you can have that conversation convincingly, and get the property. And by the way, I can even do this with some of you guys, like on Zoom. If you have a motivated seller, you want some help, I've closed some deals on Zoom. So I'd love to partner with you on some stuff. If the numbers look good on it, we could jump in and I could help you even close the deal. So a lot of value working with me. I hope you guys can see that. Any other, I love these questions, guys. Any last ones that you want to shoot out? All right. So, yeah, so just a quick preview. We're going to have 2 guest speakers. Next week, you'll get to hear some great strategies from my new Determined Dozen team member, Tyson Holbrook, and then we'll have a lesson on how to be your own bank and how to invest, with the life insurance model from Steve Ross. He's amazing. He's gotten me 2 $5 million policies. So look forward to that. It's going to be great. I want to keep adding value, and then I'll be back to do the training after that. I usually do most of these, but every once in a while I like to get a few guest speakers so you guys hear a couple different perspectives on things. So with that said, guys, thank you for joining. I love what we're doing. I love this mission. And just in case you didn't see my Facebook posts, you know, my goal, my ultimate goal is to create 100 millionaires in real estate, and I want to start a culture of giving. So you can check out, I think I'll be posting it in this group, kind of what I'm doing with some of the recent people that have jumped into the team, but made 2 wells in these people's names. Like I say, I'm going to post it later today into this group so you can see what I'm talking about if you didn't see it on my personal Facebook. And so I donate the money for a well every time someone joins my real estate investing team to Vision Cambodia, so that, you know, each well gives 100 to 200 villagers clean water. So it's awesome. And what I tell people that join me in this journey is, hey, pay it forward. You know, as you start to make money in real estate investing, you know, donate money for a well or whatever project that you're passionate about. Make that, you know, make sure that you give a portion of all the money that you make to an excellent cause. I was hung out with the leader of Vision Cambodia this weekend. We went in the banya, which is like a Russian sauna, essentially. And he's such an amazing guy. He's got such a great vision and dedicates a lot to this project. So I've seen it. I've been there. It's amazing. It's a really worthy project. So, you know, as you begin making money in real estate, always consider donating to like Vision Cambodia or some other worthy cause. The goal is to pay it forward. I believe in that strongly, and I want to promote that kind of culture within our Real Estate Wealth Creators group. So look for a post on that today. I think you'll enjoy it. And with that said, have an awesome rest of your day. See ya.